Hello everyone, welcome back to another session of AWS Mastery course. So in this particular session, we are starting a very important concept of AWS, which is IAM, and it is stands for Identity Access Management. So basically, when we talk about the cloud security, we cannot actually ignore this particular topic. So this is something by which we can actually manage the access of different users in AWS. Okay, so now we are going to learn about the practical implementation of IAM as well as the theoretical concepts related to IAM. Okay, so in this particular session, we are going to learn like what is IAM and where we can use the IAM and how we can actually use the IAM. So now let's start the session. IAM is something like which is stands for Identity Access Management. Okay, so first let's just understand the definition, like what exactly the concept behind IAM and why we are using this. So let's understand all these things properly. So as I told you, IAM is something which is stands for Identity Access Management, and it's a kind of framework, or we can say it's a kind of service which actually provide access management. Okay, so let's suppose we are having one resource, and with the help of IAM we can actually limit the access, or we can give anyone to access to that particular resource or something. Okay, so it is something by which we can manage the access of different user to the particular AWS service, or I can say resource. When we talk about the importance of this IAM, so it is used for security. Okay, so let's suppose we are having one a database, but in the company we are having someone like from design, someone is from development, someone from marketing. So the person who is from marketing or design, they don't need the access of database. Okay, so what we do, we can actually give them the access of our overall AWS platform, but we will not give them the access of database. So how we can do that? With the help of IAM we can actually do this. So now next thing is like what are the things which we are going to do in IAM. So first we are having user management, means like we can manage the individual users, their identities and their access permission, like what exactly they can access and what exactly they cannot access, and we can overall we can manage their identity. And we are having lifecycle management, we can actually create or modify and delete user account securely. So we are having these concepts as well. Apart from user, we are having group, like we can create the group, we can add different users to the group, and we can attach policies to the group, like what exactly this group can actually do. And like when we are adding a user to this particular group, and then like what will be the significance of that particular user will have when that particular user will be connected to the group. Okay, so these are the things which we are going to learn in this particular IAM. And apart from that, we are having roles and policies. So roles is something like what person can actually do, or what exactly the particular group can actually do. So role is something like someone who is having a developer role, so he will be able to access all the developer related things. Okay, just like that we are having policies. So policies are just basically a kind of rules, like we are just limiting the access. So let's suppose if someone is we are giving someone's the access of EC2. Okay, so in EC2 we are having different accesses. So let's suppose a person is coming to us, and that person is saying like, hey, I want the full access of EC2. So when we are providing the full access of EC2, so we are just creating a policy. Okay, so apart from EC2, that person will not be having any other access, or I can say access of any other service. Okay, so this is what we can do. And apart from that, we are having access control. Principle of least privilege means we can grant the minimal access to, or I can say needed. Means if someone is coming to us, and according to their role or according to their job description in the company, we can assign the role. So it's totally depends on us, like how much access we want to give them, or how much like we want them to access the resources. And then we are having fine grained access, means we can control the access on each and every level, or I can say per action, per instance, or I can say per resource. Means at particular time what exactly they are doing, we can monitor that, and we can limit their access. So this is all about IAM. So IAM is basically identity access management system, where we can manage the level of access the users are having into AWS resources, or I can say services. So this is what we are having. Apart from that, we are having multi-factor authentication, means in order to secure our AWS resources in I can say further manner, we can implement multi-factor authentication, like kind of two-factor authentication, where like user can use their mobile phone, or I can say Google Authenticator app, so that like whatever the information they are accessing, they can have the multi-factor, so that whatever the resources or whatever the data we are having, it should be secure. Okay, what is the importance? So importance of multi-factor authentication is something like it can actually enhance the security. So we are going to study this multi-factor authentication in a separate session, and we are doing this practically completely. Then we are having monitoring and auditing, so we can track the access of any user. We can actually track like what kind of modifications they are actually doing, and what exactly they are doing with the services or the resources they are having the access. And the benefits, again, like when we are able to monitor, so means we are just able to improve the security of the organization, or the resources or the services we are having. So I hope you guys have understood the idea of like what is IAM, and what are the things are there related to IAM. So we are having users group, we are having policies, roles, and multi-factor authentication. So in the upcoming session, we are going to learn each and everything practically and in a very detailed manner. So I hope you guys have understood the concept of IAM, or we can say identity access management, properly. So now in the upcoming session, we are going to learn about the practical implementation of IAM as well. So that's it for now. Thank you so much.